You are about to enter the realm of the deaf and hard of hearing people. That make this a world that may be completely new to you, but a world I was born into. My name is Jeffy, and I am severely hard of hearing. Education during the 1700s, the deaf and hard of hearing people were institutionalized. The deaf and hard of hearing people were also labeled retarded, put in asylums, and not educated. In the 1800s, residential schools for the deaf and hard of hearing people were open. Many were moved from asylums to these residential schools. From the 1900s to the present, American Sign Language was created in 1965. In the 70s, public schools took over the education of the deaf and hard of hearing people. Their goal was to mainstream. 24 dual language private schools were started. I want to share with you the typical education plan for the students today, for the deaf and hard of hearing students today. This is my friend Kobe and me. He has a cochlear implant, which are for deaf people, and I have hearing aids. We both attended a 2-year preschool and elementary hearing impaired program at Kaylee Avenue Elementary School. I was mainstreamed by 3rd grade, and he was never mainstreamed. He ended up going to Texas School of Deaf, and which he learned American Sign Language from. I finished in a Florida public school, high school, and never learned American Sign Language.
Wow.
Some deaf students choose to leave public schools and attend private deaf schools that teach American Sign Language and spoken English. All deaf and hard of hearing students work with a speech therapist. Per Judith Juchen's article, today's public school speech therapists are required to receive training by the American Sign Language Hearing Association. However, most public schools don't teach American Sign Language. There have been many medical advances. In 1898, Miller Hutchinson created the first electric hearing aid. Hearing aids have become more compact and efficient since then. In 1982, Graham Herrick created the first cochlear implant. That's actually a picture of him right there, doing the first surgery.
Wow.
Mary Beth Garden and Rachel St. John's article, Early Hearing Detection and Intervention, explained that mandatory newborn hearing testing began in 1997. It began shortly after I was born. My hearing loss wasn't identified until the age of 3 by an audiogram, which is also a pure tone audiometry. From the National Institute on Deafness and Other Communication Disorders website, I found these statistics. Over 37 million people in the U.S. have hearing problems. Over 90% of deaf babies were born to hearing parents. Over 1 million hearing aids are sold in the U.S. yearly. Over 330,000 cochlear implants have been made. An estimated 28 million Americans will begin hearing loss due to high-frequency noise levels. More than 70% of deaf children are in public schools as well. The book, The Mask of Benevolence, by Harlan Lane explained there are various causes of hearing impairment. During birth, family history, birth defects, genetic disorders, infection by the mother, low birth rate, and exposure to toxic chemicals. After birth, infections, diseases, child injuries, occupational or school injuries, high-frequency sounds, or built-up plaques. They never determined the cause of my hearing loss. From the book Deaf and Heritage, A Narrative History of Deaf America by Jack Gannon, here are some historic deaf and hard of hearing people. Helen Keller was the first deaf and blind college graduate. Thomas Gallaudet and Lauren Clerk founded the first deaf school in America. Juliet Lowe was the founder of Girl Scouts. Rocky Stone was the founder of self-help for the hard-of-hearing people. Dummy Boy was the first Major League Baseball player that was deaf. Alexander Graham Bell, the inventor of telephone and communications for deaf people, happened to be hard of hearing. Thomas Edison was the inventor of phonographs and light bulbs. Beethoven was a great musician and great composer. Johnny Ray was a singer and songwriter. Raise your hand if you recognize most of these celebrities. Did you know all of them are deaf or hard of hearing? The last 7, these 7 right here,
Wow.
the last 7 were born deaf. The others lost hearing in one ear from abuse, infections, loud noise, or surgical complications. It is important for raised awareness and understanding of the deaf and hard of hearing because the modern advances in education and medical enhancements, the deaf and hard of hearing are productive members of our society.